The Justice Department announced that more than 10 million fentanyl pills were seized in a months-long operation with law enforcement agencies. This equates to 36 million lethal doses. According to the DOJ, the Justice Department Drug Enforcement Administration, or DEA, also confiscated 980 pounds of fentanyl powder across the country from May 23rd through September 8th. As part of the One Pill Can Kill initiative.
The DOJ also said that of the 390 cases investigated during this period, 129 are linked to social media platforms, including Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook Messenger. Although I wouldn't say that, let's not say this is like a social media problem or something, or that those are places that what people are having conversations about how to get drugs. I mean, it would not. If we had stricter enforcement on those platforms, I think it would make not one iota of difference in terms of the epidemic of people accidentally poisoning themselves with fentanyl, right? It's
so
that's the problem. People are doing drugs, and then those drugs are laced with a poison that they don't know. People are not trying to overdose on fentanyl. Exactly. They're not like, give me all the fentanyl I can. They're being poisoned.
Exactly, which is a really strong argument, I would say, for drug legalization.
Yes.
Because no one who can go and buy regulated, tested, proven marijuana is going to risk death from some of these other unregulated drugs.
Yeah, absolutely. Hard agree. We're going to have a lot of agreement in this segment.
Well, we should say that, one of the most hotly watched Senate races in the country weighed in on this issue with Dr. Oz tweeting just recently, 45 minutes ago, rainbow fentanyl is 50 times more potent than heroin and is designed to target children and teens. John Fetterman supports legalizing dangerous drugs like this, which of course isn't true. Nobody wants fentanyl, as we've just described. And Mehmet Oz, as is his trend, is getting ratioed for this tweet online.
He should be ratioed. So the DEA also has been warning that drug cartels are making colorful, quote, rainbow fentanyl to appeal to kids. Their press release is a press release from the DEA. Brightly colored fentanyl is being seized in multiple forms, including pills, powders, and blocks that resemble sidewalk chalk. I ran an article in Reason Magazine from my colleague Lenore Skenazy, who's really good at debunking these kinds of things. She says there's no evidence these pills are being marketed to children. Addiction psychiatrist Sally Sattel, who's quoted in that article, says she's skeptical that dealers would try to target children where there's not an existing market. Again, according to Lenore, my dear friend. So it's just not the case. Now they are. It is very common for people selling drugs to make them more colorful, make the packaging more exciting, describe it with fun words to make it a more attractive product to the people they're trying to sell it to. That's not children, though. They're not. This sounds like the Skittles panic or the Skittles parties. You hear that? Do you remember those? Have you heard about those?
Enlighten me, Robby.
Where you were just supposed to. It was a moral panic about the kids these days. They come to these parties and everybody has a different pill that they got out of their parents' bathroom cabinets, and they all switch them and they all take them. It's not a real thing. It never happened. It's that kind of involve the kids' moral panic. Look, I'm sure kids do accidentally poison themselves by taking prescription drugs or household cleaners. Accidentally, it happens all the time. There's not a concerted effort among drug dealers this fear is specifically always comes around this time of year, Halloween, as we lead into Halloween, because there is this absolutely wrong-headed fear that if you trick or treat and you go to neighbors' homes and they give out candy, and that, oh no, what if that candy is poisoned? What if they've injected it with something? Because there was one case decades ago of a child who died from what was accused to be poisoned Halloween candy. What happened in that case, and happens in every single one of these cases that I've ever covered, again, my colleague Lenore has covered a lot of these, is that child's own father killed him and went to jail for it eventually. It's always within the household. No one who has drugs is eager to part with them to randomly kill a child on another street.
Evergreen tweet. Drugs are expensive. Nobody wants to give them to your kids for free.
Exactly.
That is not, and
the parents did it.
Yeah.
Always.
Always. Yeah. I mean, many people have pointed this out now on Twitter. People have said things like, the volume of fentanyl that someone would have to consume if they really thought it was candy, like taking handfuls of those pills or multiples of those pills as though it were chalk and a kid were just chomping down on chalk, would kill them.
As a kid does.
Yeah. But that would kill them, which kind of defeats this argument that they're just trying to get your kids hooked. Also, the idea of getting an 8-year-old hooked on fentanyl, like that means they're going to be out on the street, like trying to deal in Jones for, what is
really going to break open the piggy bank in order to satisfy that fix.
It's not a thing.
Yeah. Which is not to say the fentanyl crisis is a huge problem.
Yeah.
People are taking drugs that are laced with a poison that have a component in them that is poison.
Absolutely.
And they're dying, and they're dying in huge numbers. Huge problem.
71,000 overdose deaths this year are linked to synthetic opioids.
Those are people who took a drug on purpose.
Yes.
But within the drug, it was fentanyl.
Yeah.
It's not an example. It's not people accidentally taking something they didn't know was a drug.
Right.
In the first, I'm sure it's happened 1 in a million times, but it's not happening more broadly. So let's be aware of the actual problem. You can still. I saw news segments the past few days about even on Fox. I think some people saying that, like, does this mean we have to do the thing we did during the pandemic, where kids are only doing pretend trick or treating in their own backyards or something? And I was like, are you kidding me? No. You can trust your neighbors broadly. You can trick or treat normally. Lenore did a great report on this for us at Reason once, looking at and also the idea that, like, sex offenders are out to get your kid. There's all these myths about Halloween and how dangerous it is. She said she looked at the statistics. The only way in which Halloween is a more dangerous night for various things is that more people get hit by cars. Mm-hmm. So if the police want to make Halloween a safer night, more traffic coordinators, more cross the street now, that kind of thing, absolutely would do some good. You don't have to test the candy for poison.
Yeah. All right. Well, I feel really safe putting my costume back on and hitting the streets again after taking a couple of years off.
Can't wait to see it.
All right. More Rising for you after this.